There is an election cake bake-off. It's happening at the Old State House, downtown Hartford, Saturday, November 5th from 1 to 3 p.m. Let me answer the first question for you. Election cake? What does one have to do with the other? Turns out probably a lot more than you think. I'm happy to have Nicole Sousa and Ali Kife from Connecticut's Old State House joining me this morning to talk not just about the contest, but about the history behind election cakes, which, Nicole, goes back to, I think, maybe 1796?
1700s, yeah. Election cakes were a way to feed people who were coming into Hartford. People were coming in to vote, and they needed something to eat. So election cake was the way that they could feed tons of people. The original recipe called for like 30 quarts of flour and 3 pounds of butter. So it was feeding a lot.
Right, and you don't really see a lot of that anymore. I think they have similar traditions in other countries. Australia has something similar. Some places give out hot dogs. But the idea, Allie, is that we want to celebrate democracy.
That's right. It was a huge celebration. People in the streets, they were eating their cake, they were drinking, celebrating, and that's really what we're trying to revive here with our election cake contest happening next month.
Yeah. What else is the Old State House also doing sort of in and around this?
Well, we're having, we have an election series programs, 3 of them, one on October 20th, one on October 27th at noon. We're really trying to teach people about the election process and get people excited to vote on November 8th.
And I was going to say, just how necessary are these efforts? I mean, we also had BB, the ballot box mascot that is being represented by the Hartford City Town Council. Anything just to try to get more people to get out.
Exactly. So we're having cake contests. Nicole, do you want to talk a little bit more about the logistics of it?
Yeah, please.
We're inviting bakers from across Connecticut to compete in this competition. They get to bring their cakes. They have to be nonpartisan. That's the most important part. But they need to be themed around elections and voting, and we really just want to bring this sweet tradition back.
And what about the type of cake? Now, there was a specific type of election cake. You were saying more like a fruit cake. I thought I saw maybe like a hot cross bun meets a panettone kind of, something thick, but this doesn't have to be like that.
No, not at all. You do not need to use the original election cake recipe.
Probably for the best.
It can be good, but we don't need to do it. It was like a bundt cake, like a spice cake, so very traditional the way that it was made. So you can use whatever recipe you'd like, and you can bring your cakes into the Old State House. Our application is on our Facebook page, which is at CT Old State House. We're looking for professional bakers, so you have to be in a bakery setting, either cottage food or in a professional baking.
All right, setting. And we do not have that link to the Facebook page up on fox61.com yet. I promise you we will try to get it right before the end of the day in case you can go there, because you still have some time. And while we still have some time, why don't you tell us, Allie, what else can people experience when they go to the Old State House? It's a place a lot of people drive by, but, you know, in case you haven't been.
We are open for tours. You can also go through the building on your own between 12 and 5 o'clock, Tuesday through Saturday. People can come and see the building. They can learn all about the history, see the restored Senate, House chambers, the courtroom where the Amistad trial began, just all sorts of amazing stories that connect to the state's history. So come visit us, please.
Please do. And I just love how centrally located it is right there in downtown Hartford.
You can't miss it.
Exactly. You can't miss it. You don't have to go far. And hey, maybe get to try some cake on November 5th. Again, 1 to 3 at the Old State House. Nicole, Allie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
There you go. Just doing whatever we can to try to promote democracy itself. It's just one of the things that made our country great and still does, man.